Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Regent. I have another little story for you guys today, and I'm just gonna get into it. So I hope you guys enjoy. So this story is about my first apartments that I live in. I still live in them now, but happened soon after I moved into them, within the first few months, and basically it involves my roommate's dog, and I've mentioned the dog before. She is a giant fucking cunt, and I hate her. But she's not so bad now that she's not such a puppy. She's still kind of a puppy, but she's not quite so young, and she's out of her adolescent stage. So that's good. But basically, me and my roommates work most of the day, which is the main reason why it's a stupid ass idea to get a dog. But my roommate's fucking dumb and just does shit and doesn't think about the consequences. But that's not a big deal. Basically, he got a dog, brought it back from one time when he was visiting his parents' house, and so we have a dog now. And basically, whenever he would go to work, I ended up getting stuck taking care of her because otherwise she'd be stuck in her cage all day, and I felt bad. So I'd not necessarily walk her, but take out shit and just leave her in the apartment while I was there. And so basically there was this thing whenever we first moved in where whenever I took her out, I wouldn't pick up her shit because that's something that I just could not stand. I would just gag and fucking I couldn't stand it whenever I had to pick up shit. Like, I just found that absolutely disgusting, and I still kind of do, and I still hate it, but I don't have to do it so much anymore, and it's not so bad anymore anyways. So I would end up leaving her shit just kind of in this area, where the only area where she would shit. I don't know why, but she would only shit in this one area, and it wasn't necessarily away from the past, but it was also not very noticeable. Like, you definitely wouldn't walk in there or really look at it too much. So that's where she would always shit, and she built up quite a lot of shit there, but still not a super noticeable amount. But clearly it was noticeable enough for this one individual to notice it. Apparently, while they're sitting out on their balcony, they caught a nice whiff of some shitty dog shit, and that made them quite angry. And I don't even think they could smell it usually, but I think he was just mad that it was there. So this is where the story gets interesting. So one day I'm sitting in the apartment alone, and usually it's only one of us at the apartment, and I'm usually the one that's there in the daytime or in the earlier day. And so I was there alone, and I get this knock on the door, and I don't know if I could demonstrate you this knock real quick. I'm gonna try. Basically, he knocked on the door like this, and I don't know about you or your neighbors, but I've never known somebody to knock on a door to a person that they didn't know, especially one that they've never even met before, in that tone. Like, usually when you knock on a door, you knock on the door 2 or 3 times. Just, 2 or 3 knocks, and then you wait, and if they don't answer, if you really need to talk to them, maybe you knock again 2 or 3 times, not fucking pounding on their door. But this individual was persistent, and I did stroll up to the door nice and stealthily. Went up to the door so they couldn't hear my fucking footsteps. I didn't have shoes on or anything, so just went up to the door and looked at the people, try and see who it was. And it was this kind of shifty looking motherfucker. I couldn't tell if it was a girl or a man, because they had kind of a feminine figure and like long straightened hair, but they had kind of a masculine face. So I didn't know what the fuck was going on, and usually I don't answer my door anyways, because the only people I really get around here are people trying to fucking scam me, or they're just pissed at me, I guess. So I wasn't going to answer the door, and I really didn't feel like having a confrontation with whoever the fuck wants to talk to me. So I kind of just stay there, wait for them to go away. And of course they knock on the door again because they're persistent, and they really want to fucking talk to whoever's in the fucking house. So they knock again, kind of more normal this time, but harder. They knock probably 3 times, and wait for quite a while. And I was like, okay, I don't know what this person's deal is, but clearly they have some good reason for wanting to talk to the people who live here specifically. So I still don't want to open the door, but I kind of watch him, and I wait for him to go away. I'm kind of just laughing at him from behind the door because he's not getting in. And I'm not sure why he's so confident that somebody's home, but he goes for the third knock, and you must be really fucking desperate to want to talk to the people in the house or whatever, or get them to open the fucking door if you knock 3 times. It's really something you should never do unless you really have to, or the person owes you money or some shit. Anyways, they knocked pretty hard this time, and that kind of annoys me. It annoys me just by the fact that they knocked 3 times on my door. But again, I don't answer because clearly this person has some kind of problem and I really don't want to deal with it. So I wait for them to leave because I want to make sure they're not going to try and come in the house while I'm not expecting it. So I sit there and watch and wait for them to leave. And it takes a long time. They're probably at the door for a total of 4 to 5 minutes before they left. They waited a long ass time, and that's fucking ridiculous. That's borderline stalker level. And so I'm kind of relieved that they left, and I go and sit down on my couch and think what the fuck that was about. And then not 30 seconds later, I hear from around my house, because that's where the stairs to the other apartments are, I hear this kind of flamboyant voice kind of say hi to my dog, who was out on the balcony at the time. And apparently somehow he knew the fucking name of my roommate's dog. But anyways, about another 30 seconds later, I guess the person came around to the apartment, and came back up the steps, and went to my door. And this time, they must have been fucking livid, because they smashed on my door. They must have taken the bottom of their fist and just pounded 3 times on my door. Pound, pound, fucking pound, bitch. They really wanted to get in, or get me to open the door. And this fucking pissed me off. Let me explain to you why this is so fucked up. First of all, he couldn't have even known that I was home. Unless he saw me go up the fucking steps to my apartment, which is weird. I guess he must have figured that if my dog's out on the balcony and the slider door's open, I must be home, even though we leave that shit open all the time. But basically, he must have figured that I must be home, and I'm just not opening up for him. But let me explain to you why that's so fucked up. First of all, nobody might be home, so don't pound on my fucking door. Second, what if somebody was home, but it was either A, my girlfriend, or just a girl in the house, or B, a child? What if my child was in the house alone, a young kid, and there's this person trying to get into the house? Can you imagine how terrifying that is? And just the issues that are surrounded by that. I could have easily called the police on them, and if I knew which apartment they were in, I would have, because that's just harassment, and that would have just made their fucking life really fucked up. And so I went up to the door and I opened it this time because I was really pissed off, and I said, "Can I help you?" in a very pissed off tone. And they extended a hand in this very flamboyant voice, introduced themselves with kind of this smug fucking smile on their face. And that pissed me off enough, but I shook their hand firmly and said hi. And then before they could get their next sentence out, or whatever the fuck it was, I interrupted them and said, "Who the fuck do you think you are, pounding on my door?" And clearly they weren't very ready for that, because they kind of stopped their whole whatever he was going to say to me that was more polite about how I should pick up my dog shit or whatever. But that's obviously the reason that he was there. And after that, he basically just kind of yelled at me and said, "Why can't you just pick up your dog shit?" To which my response, of course, was, first of all, who the fuck do you think you are? Second of all, it's my roommate's dog, and you're yelling at the wrong person. Now, I want to say right now, I'm not very good with confrontation, and so I really didn't get out all the shit I wanted to say to him. Like, in hindsight, there's a lot more shit I'd like to say to him, and a better way to have handled this situation. But I handled it the way I did. I handled it fair enough. At least I didn't pussy out and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I did effectively tell him to fuck off. And by the end of that, he kept saying all he could smell from his balcony. All he wanted to do was sit on his balcony and not smell dog shit. And he was clearly distraught about it. And I don't think he could even smell the dog shit from his balcony. I think he just smelled it once, and was kind of pissed off that it was there. And pissed off that we ignored his signs and shit and all his arts and crafts that he did to try and prevent us from doing that again. So yeah, I basically told him it's not even my dog, and all this shit, and I slammed the door in his face. And so that I thought that was the end of the my confrontation with this individual. But about 5 minutes later, they come back with a Starbucks coffee in hand, and he looks smug once again, and he knocks on my door, and I say to myself, what the fuck could this asshole want? So I go over, check the people, and of course it is him again, and I'm wondering what the fuck's going on, so I open the door, because I'm not going to try and pretend like I'm not home this time. So I said, what do you want? And he said, I've told the front office that you're not picking up your dog shit, and I'm not a passive-aggressive person, so I'm just going to take action when I have to. And that really pissed me off. Once again, I'm not good with confrontation. If I could have just ran it through my fucking mind that obviously he's pounding on my fucking door, which is an absurd thing to do. That's something you do in your parents' house on your little brother's door whenever you took your fucking Xbox controller or some shit. Not on the front door of somebody's house that you don't even know. Second of all, he's leaving signs and all this bullshit. Instead of just confronting us while we're out there and kindly asking us to pick up our dog shit. So that's those are the main problems here. But again, I'm not good with confrontation. I really am not good at being put on the spot. So I kind of just said, you're a fucking, I don't know what I fucking said. I didn't call him an idiot. I didn't call him any names or anything. But basically, that was that. And I slammed the door in his face again. I told him I really didn't give a fuck and you could talk to my roommate about it because it's really not my problem. So that was that. And interestingly, he did call the front office on us, and we got a fucking note on our door that said it's against our lease to have a dog and not pick up the dog droppings. And it turned out to not be a big problem. We tried to call him back. I tried to have my roommate call him back because it's like a $500 deposit fee that I told him he'd have to pay if they found out that we had a dog in the house. And which we just didn't pay. But that was that, and that wasn't, surprisingly, that wasn't the last I saw of this dude, which I still can't remember the name of. But he came, I guess, trying to make amends with us, and about a week or two later, with an invitation to his friends or his roommates' birthday party, I guess, and told us that we could come over if we wanted or some weird shit. And I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do, but it really wasn't working for me. I didn't answer the door that time. I told my roommate who had the dog to answer the door, and it was fucking weird. So yeah, I really don't like that guy. He's an asshole. It might not sound, some of you might think he's not an asshole and he just wanted a dog shit picked up, but he just went about it all the wrong way, and there's definitely a correct way to handle that situation, and he did not follow those guidelines. So yeah, that was basically it. And anyways, that's the story, and I hope you guys enjoyed that story, and yeah, see you guys next time. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye bye.